Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you so much for joining us. Stephen St. John and Todd Leabo. Don't start in with me. I've had enough from you from last night.
No.
Don't start.
You got me.
It's just morning.
4 hours, buddy.
Morning, Kansas
It's not
City.
New Day?
No, it's not good morning.
This is a new day.
It's just morning, Kansas City.
Morning.
Morning
Morning.
and morning.
Morning. Nothing good?
Morning, Kansas City.
Morning. How you doing, Steven?
Jake Gutierrez and Deebs are also here.
Here we are.
Was Deebs here late last night?
It's just...
Oh, yeah.
You should have slept here, Deebs.
It's just again, just a scheduling quirk in my life where we've had some things where I have not been able to get home
Sleep.
before midnight for the last 4 consecutive evenings.
I understand
So,
last night.
Yeah. Well, Thursday had a big
Had a
event.
fancy meal.
A big event, and
And Friday's Friday and
with my
Saturday's Saturday.
wonderful wife had a big event at I'm not going to say whose event, but I can say where. Can
Say
I?
whatever you want.
1587. So that we were there Thursday, and then Friday, Bloomapalooza.
Yeah.
And
And Saturday?
I spent, you know who I hung out with at Bloomapalooza for several hours?
Jamie Bluma.
Nope.
Oh.
Frank Bowl
Yes?
and his wife Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Lovely wife.
Anthony Sherman
Tony.
came from across the street.
Yeah. He's right out there
where
by
he
him.
lives, and came out and hung out. And
Did he bring the kids?
no.
No.
No, but he watched Richie and Dola White, and we had some fun there.
Did you get on stage and sing?
No, I don't do that. That's Nate. Nate's the spotlight guy. No, seriously, that was
He's been on the
pretty
stage.
much.
He loves to sing.
Well, I have too,
You
but
have.
he keeps encouraging me. I go, no, that's my son's
That's his
stomping
thing.
grounds, and Nate's like, oh, I'll get up
What
there.
you should do is get up
What?
and play the bass.
No,
No?
no.
No? I
And
saw
then-
Frank last night, and you said your wonderful wife, and then I said Frank's lovely wife.
Mm-hmm.
Who did I see helping induct Bill Moss in the Hall of Fame?
Frank.
No. Who would always say lovely wife?
Oh, Carl Peterson.
Carl Peterson. He said lovely wife twice on that stage. That is his deal.
And then we had the event. I went to the event with Wes Wilson and Sophie Cunningham.
Yes. How'd
Spent
that
time
smell?
with them, and we went home, and Julia had informed me I'd promised her to go see the movie she wanted to see.
So when
Five
you went to a
Nights at
movie
Freddy's.
at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night?
10:30 movie.
You went to a 10:30 movie. This is all
on
your
Saturday. No, because I kept my promise to my daughter.
fault. Yeah, but
She
you
was very
You
happy.
said, let's go watch the movie at 10 o'clock in the morning on
She
Sunday.
informed me that if I did not take her on Saturday night, she would decline any other invitations to go to the movie. No, she stands her ground. She told me I had promised, and I did a week before, and I
You
didn't
didn't
think.
plan your life out very well.
I got everything done.
You did. And now look at you.
And then of course yesterday we were at the Chiefs game.
That game took way too long to be that bad of a football game.
I pulled into my driveway at 12.
I got home at about 11:53.
And so, like I said last week, after the Cowboys loss, I'm done expecting this team to do something special. It's gone from expectation to hope. Because that was the Cowboys loss was the one that somewhat broke me.
Yeah.
Like, I still thought that they could beat the Texans, and some would say last night they should have beat the Texans. If not for I've seen different numbers. How many drops? 9? 10?
I saw 6.
No,
I've seen
no,
8.
No. It ain't 6.
They don't really calculate an official drop stat.
It is an unofficial stat.
Yeah, but it was too many. And when one of them turns into an interception, that's like a quadruple drop.
How about a drop touchdown pass?
A drop touchdown pass is it's an octuple drop. And then how about a dropped fourth down pass? That's a quadruple drop. They were just awful drops
Lots
at terrible times.
of drop passes. Now, Patrick Mahomes did not have a great game. 0 touchdown passes. 3 interceptions.
First time in his NFL career, I believe.
But my God, catch the football. Catch the football.
If they would have caught those balls, he wouldn't have had 0 touchdowns, and he also wouldn't have had 3 interceptions, and he would have had probably 275 yards.
And they would have won the game, and nobody would have cared what his stats were.
Probably so.
And look, the Chiefs are, depending on what happens tonight, and look, I'm not going to sit here and even talk about the playoff picture.
Come on.
Look, Chargers have to lose. Colts have to collapse, which
What's the number one thing that has to happen in any scenario for the Chiefs?
They got to win.
They have to win. And what have they not done for the last 3 weeks? Okay.
And that's why I said last week, I'm done expecting them to do something because they've just shown us who they are repeatedly, and they did it again. And so if you keep doing the same thing over and over again,
you are who you are, man.
That's what you are, and that's what this team is. And so, I mean, it's the same thing. And look, this is a team that they were down 3 starting offensive linemen, and then after one play, the guy that was still
never played.
Still, I'm still unsure why Wanya Morris was in at left tackle, but he was, and that lasted one play, and then it was bad. Mm-hmm. It was hyperextended, and then seeing him in the locker room after the game, he was on crutches and a big brace, and
just
he was
watching
not moving
him
well. Yeah.
try to get to the injury table was tough. They put him in the tent, and then they pulled the tent back, and then the little net for the kickers was laying there, and it was not easy for him to step over the net. And then he couldn't go down the stairs to go to the locker room. Like, when they bring the cart out to run you past the stairs, you're not doing great. So that was a rough break to start the game. But I thought the offensive line was not a major problem in the game last night.
It really wasn't.
No. I mean, it wasn't great. Patrick they had to coach around it. He had to run a little bit. But they've had way worse games with pressures and sacks than they had last night in his time here. So the drops were the biggest thing last night for me.
Well, yeah.
The absolute biggest thing. The penalties were not terrible last night. There weren't 15 holding penalties. There weren't a bunch of procedure penalties. I think there was Essa got a penalty on the last drive when they had 40 seconds left. But the penalties weren't bad everywhere. What was bad was they dropped 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 passes, whatever it was. And even though the defense, I thought, stood up and played very well, still, 3rd and longs, I mean, what's going on here?
And how about Andy Reid?
Andy Reid,
How about
that's the big talking point.
Yeah.
That's the big talking point.
Okay, here's because I had to fight. I butted heads with people on this last week. Here's what I'm not going to hear about: people complaining about the defense today.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I did that last week. That's not. If you watched that game yesterday and you thought, you know what, the defense, no, don't make effing headphones around here.
You hold someone to 20 points when you get stuck in a couple of bad spots. Defense did okay.
And minus McDuffie for a part.
Almost all the game.
Yeah, for a large portion of that game.
How many times did they just absolutely overwhelm the Texans' offense in the second half and allow the Chiefs to get back in the game? I mean, look at the drives. Look at the drive chart. Until
they got stuck at the 30-yard line.
Right.
Why?
Andy Reid would, and you know what? And I even told you they're going to go for it. He said, no, they're not. I said, yeah, they are. And then they went out there and went, to go for it.
And then you said what they should do is line up in the shotgun.
No. I said, just run the ball. Run the ball. And this is, and again, this is my disconnect with everyone else. I'm not even that pissed off that they went for it. I'm mystified at the play call. Mystified at what they saw last night to lead them to believe that their best chance of converting that 4th down was to complete a pass. Because even when passes were dropped to the hands of receivers, they were unwilling to catch them. whether it was Rashee Rice or Travis Kelce or Noah Gray or Kareem Hunt, it didn't matter. Running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, they were all dropping passes. All of them. But you know what I did see on the one time they were successful on fourth down, even when the play looked like it was stopped, I saw a tremendous individual effort from Kareem Hunt to score a touchdown. Do you want to know why that happened? Because he has been one of, if not the best running backs in the league at picking up fourth downs in short yardage situations. And so with the season on the line, in that, again, very controversial decision to go for it on fourth down, what are you lining up in shotgun, empty? You line up under center and turn around and hand. If you're going for it, do give yourself the best chance of converting and hand the ball to Kareem Hunt. What stood out to you about the touchdown that they scored?
Kareem Hunt being tough.
Was that great blocking and just a great play? No. It was him being an incredible short yardage back. You know what he's been all year long?
That.
An incredible short yardage back.
Yeah,
and so then why don't you like that? That's what I can't wrap my head around.
I just sit there and watch this thing like 3 times while we were talking, and it's just, Patrick said it after the game. He should have made a quicker decision, and he should have. There's plays.
There were several times last night.
I'm sorry, I'm mystified they even went for it. When your defense is playing that good, that's insulting to the defense. Like, you know what kind of battle you're in?
As soon as third down was over, what did I tell you?
You said, first you said, why did he stop? It was that scramble.
Right.
You were mad about that.
Right, but then what did I tell you immediately?
They're going to go for it.
Oh, I mean, I felt it too.
Well, no one believes you because no one heard you. And you're just saying that
Miranda
to look good
heard
right
me.
now.
Get her on the phone right now.
I told you they're going for it, and you said they're not going for it. And you
I
laughed
said
at
punt it. Let him go.
But you didn't think they would.
Well, there's so little time left in the game. It was time to do it. It was only 10.5 minutes. I mean, he played that thing like there was a minute to go in the game.
Again, would I have gone for it? No. Was I surprised?
But if I made you go for it, you wouldn't have called that.
Okay. Would I have gone for it? No. Was I surprised they went for it? No.
I was slightly surprised.
What mystified me was the play call.
Yeah, and the lack of execution on it, because Patrick didn't have his best play. It was a bad play call. He didn't make a quick enough read. Here's the deal. They have said this over and over this year. They got to clean some things up. It's a few plays away. They lost this thing 20-10 last night. But it's the National Football League. Even though they got beat like that, it really was just a few plays. Tyquan Thornton catches that touchdown pass. You've got a different ballgame on your hands. If they pick up that fourth down, you got a different ball. Just a couple little things here and there. They are not getting any of those plays to go their way this year. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And I don't know, they still have a chance to make the postseason, 14%. And, Patrick after the game said, we're going to just keep attacking, and we're going to try. I don't know what they're going to come out with Sunday. I don't know what this week's going to be like for this team. We saw early exits from the locker room last night. They didn't want to talk about this thing. I get it. They're mad. People don't come to me at my job and ask me questions about how if I mess something up. But this is the deal in this league. And I get they were dejected and down and all that stuff. I think they knew how important this game was. What do you expect out of this team the next 4 weeks? I don't know, man. They got some real work to do this week because they can't fix last night.
But let me tell you, okay? they have a better chance of making the playoffs still than most people are assuming. But it requires them to win all of their games.
And they have not done that.
Okay, because the Colts, as I've told you for the last couple of weeks, are in the midst of collapsing, and that's before I knew that Daniel Jones would be out for the year. So they might not win another game, and so they're going to be out of the way. And so the one team that is going to end up standing between the Chiefs and a playoff spot is the Chargers. Mm-hmm. And if the Chiefs beat the Chargers, then it's not beyond the realm of possibility. But the whole equation requires the Chiefs to win out.
Yeah.
And I told you last week, I'm done expecting that. I'm done thinking that. We can hope for it and everything else. And guess what? I've seen enough in my 2.5 decades of covering the NFL where you look at a team, man, can you believe this team made the playoffs considering where they were with 3 or 4 weeks left in the season? It could absolutely happen.
You're not out till you're out.
But they have to win games, and it's not me looking at I'm telling you, the Colts are done. Mm-hmm. And the Chargers, now they need to lose tonight.
Right, that's
if they lost tonight, look at their schedule. That could happen. But what I don't feel confident about is the Chiefs winning out.
Yeah.
That's the part. It was, I think the Chiefs are going to win their games, but are they going to get the necessary help? Now, I'm telling you, I think their door is still slightly open. There's going to be the necessary help, but they're not going to win the games.
Yeah. Chiefs fans should be rooting for the Eagles tonight against the Chargers. Then they're at the Chiefs, at the Cowboys. They play the Texans, and they're at the Broncos. It's a tough schedule. But they have a lead over the Chiefs right now of 2 games.
Yep.
And if they win tonight, it'll be 3 games with 4 to play. And that's rough because the best the Chiefs can do is win 10 games. And all the Texans have to do is win 2 more games in the 10 games. They already beat them.
Right.
And if the Chargers win tonight,
what's the Chargers' remaining schedule?
They play the Eagles tonight. Then they go to Dallas, or to the Chiefs, then to Dallas, Houston at home, at the Broncos.
You don't think they can lose all those games?
Absolutely could.
What if the Broncos are playing for the number 1 seed?
Yeah.
Okay. Just go piece by piece. Could they lose to the Eagles tonight?
Sure.
Could they lose at Arrowhead?
Yeah.
I mean, but they could.
Yeah.
Okay.
Texans at home.
Could they lose to the Texans?
At the Cowboys? Yeah, the Cowboys have probably packed it in. I mean, there's lots of those things could happen. But.
Okay, so then what would happen? I'm just telling you, as much as people don't want to believe it, because of things that happened yesterday in the NFL, the Chiefs are still more alive than I thought they'd be. But it requires them to win all these games, and that's the thing that you can't depend on anymore. You know? It's, of course, everyone wants to be negative, and that's. But
they're tied right now with the Dolphins. That's unbelievable.
Right.
That's unfreaking believable
right.
that they're tied with the Miami Dolphins.
I've seen crazier things, but the Chiefs aren't playing like a team that deserves to be in the playoffs.
No, not at all. They're. I was kind of looking this up when I got home last night. I don't believe the Chiefs have been under 500 under Andy Reid at this point in the season. This is unprecedented. I mean, Patrick Mahomes has not had a 0 touchdown, 3 interception game in the NFL. This is, unprecedented under their time. It's just not what people thought this season was going to be. But it's continued to happen and happen and happen. And Andy, of course, last night took the blame for the 4th down call, said he made a mistake. Patrick takes the blame, should have thrown a little bit better ball on this. I mean, listen, he threw a beautiful ball to Tyquan Thornton. He said, yeah, I could have let him a little bit more, Rashee Rice, big drop on 4th down. Travis Kelce, 2 drops in a row. He wasn't running those guys down.
The passes weren't perfect, but this is the NFL.
It's the NFL. You have to catch
You've
the
got
ball.
to catch these balls. You got to catch those passes.
Harrison Butker missed another kick. Doink. barely made the other one. You know, it's a lot of mental stuff here, and it's hard to be on point all the time. I don't know what's going through these guys' minds when these things are happening, but it can't be good. Because I know last year, everything that was going through their mind was good.
Dude.
Oh, someone's going to do this. Someone's going to drop the ball. Something good's going to happen. All these things are going to happen. They have got to be sitting there in their mind now going, what's going to happen now?
I tried to ask Karlaftis a question like that. You know, you said it better than I did because you're there, and because he was giving 1- and 2-word answers, and like nobody wanted to talk after the game yesterday, and so I just said, things have gone right for you in the past in these situations. Is it mental now? Is it just like contagious, where one thing goes wrong? Because we just have to make plays. And by the way, we didn't get a whole lot of locker room sound last night because there weren't very many players willing to talk.
And many were gone by the time we even got in.
First guy that was talking that accepted all interview requests was Nick Bolton, and he spoke to everyone who had a microphone, right? Mm-hmm. And so then we waited and we waited and we waited, and then you guys went and talked to.
We had to go to the press conference room.
No, you.
Pole.
Okay, so you talked to Pole, right?
Yep.
And then I waited, and so then Leo Chanel got dressed, grabbed his backpack, and all the other media was down on the other end. So I just walked over to Leo, and as he was leaving, I go, "Can I ask a couple of questions?" He goes, "Yeah, man, I got you." And so Leo spoke, and then 30 members of the media ran and like got behind me after I'm the one that stopped him and asked him to talk, which is fine.
It's fine.
No, that's
what it is.
Hey,
someone has to start.
Right. I stopped him, and I even told us, "Hey, I'll go stop him. Mm-hmm. Get ready." And so then
be rolling.
Went and stopped Karlaftis before he left. I say, "Can we get you real quick?" He goes, "Yeah." And so Karlaftis spoke. Is that it? That's it, right?
Yeah, then I went in to talk to Andy.
And then we waited.
Well, it set the stage. While we're waiting in the cooling off period out in the hallway, basically the core of the wide receiver crew left before the locker room was open. Rasheed Rice and his family and friends left. Hollywood Brown left. Xavier Worthy left.
Right after the game, we have to stand in line for the cooling off period for 15 minutes. It just depends or so. Or 20 minutes while players shower, get ready. Andy Reid addresses the team, and we prepare to go into the locker room. And as we were standing in line, Rasheed Rice, wearing the same thing that he wore to the game, bundled up with a face mask and everything else, just walked right past us. And so they know if they can hurry up and take a shower and get dressed, they can leave the locker room before the media gets in there.
I don't even know if they shower. Just get out.
Well, if they hurry up, they can leave and get out of there.
Yep.
And Rasheed Rice was one of the first ones to get out of there because he didn't want to talk. Travis Kelce was basically the last person in the locker room, and he took forever. He sat devastated. He sat in his locker in full uniform for a long time after the game, devastated. He had a blank stare, just staring straight ahead. Then he sat for another 5 minutes or so with his face buried in his hands.
As he's got his face buried in his hands, Trent McDuffie, who you couldn't talk to, he generally would talk, but he's injured, so you can't talk to him. He got dressed, and he left, and he looked over and saw Travis, and he went over and consoled him a little bit. I mean, this is a young player seeing someone who's just obviously beat up and sad because of what happened in the game and how he didn't come through.
I've never seen Kelce look like that.
The only time I've kind of seen him like that was after a playoff loss.
And so we waited there and waited, and then he went into the shower. And then as they're getting ready to close the locker room, we're waiting, and I'm standing pretty much right in front of Kelce's locker. He gets back, he gets dressed very methodically, and then we're all gathered around. And so then, I feel, they're going to let the locker room, because they told us it was getting ready to close, and they're going to let the locker room stay open for us to talk to Kelce. So all gather around him. He has his back turned to us. He's fully dressed. He's getting something out of his locker, and then you hear him say this.
Y'all have a good night.
That was it. So, and that's up to him. He didn't have to talk.
Y'all have a good night.
Now, it might be better for everyone involved if he just went ahead and told someone in the PR staff, listen, I can't talk tonight. And they could have told you guys that, listen, Travis is going to talk tonight. You got to wait around there. But hey, there's a whole lot of stuff like that.
I'm good. That's my job. I'm waiting. If he was going to talk, I'm right there. And he didn't, so what?
Yeah.
All right? I'm just saying I appreciate the players that did talk.
Absolutely.
That's why I wanted to mention them.
And by the way, like I said, nobody sits there and waits around at your job if you had a bad night.
Seriously?
Talks to you. But
you stand outside there and mock me whenever I make a mistake.
There's people
I'm still
waiting in the
for you
hall
to
for
make one.
Steven.
I'm waiting for you to make one.
Well, Jake's waiting for me to take a break, so we'll do it. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Well, it was a little similar to last week, when we threw the ball to Wiley there, so we felt we had run it a couple times, so came back and thought we had an answer with it, and didn't work out the way we planned. Really on all three of the fourth downs.
Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
What are you looking at me like that for?
Cuz
I
wish I had another one of those stuffed poblano peppers from the meal last night.
You like that meal.
In college basketball, Kansas beat Missouri 80-60 at T-Mobile Center.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I stuck to my guns because I have some very wonderful people in my life that even up to, I had an offer as late as 7 a.m.
Come on to the game. Come on down.
I got a ticket for you. And I just politely declined. And I said I would go if I didn't have to work afterwards, but
you have to work.
I'm going to go. Fresh. I have some things that I need to do. I need to wash, and I did. I went to wash my car. I had to vacuum it out with all this damn salt. I had to do just things to get my mind right. And then I just watch it at home. And then
turned out that was a good idea for you.
Yes, and I wanted to be at Arrowhead early, and I was.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything was smooth there, but Kansas wins over Missouri 80-60.
The Darren Peterson era has begun?
It's almost as if playing Howard, Southeast Missouri, VMI, Prairie View, South Dakota, South Carolina State, and Cleveland State don't quite get you ready for Kansas.
How so?
Yeah.
In what regard?
And yes, they did have the games against Minnesota and Notre Dame. And now the schedule gets tough again with Alabama State and Bethune before they take on
Bethune-Cookman, right? They changed the name.
It just says Bethune.
Oh. Have they changed Bethune-Cookman to Bethune?
I'm reading the schedule and it says Bethune. And then Illinois. And so I will just humbly say that.
But after Illinois, it's just like Florida and Kentucky. So.
Right. Well, that schedule, that non-con, I believe sucks for the fans and sucks for your preparation for a game like yesterday. That's all.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's good for your record, though.
And what's that going to get you?
20 wins?
You know.
Will they win 20?
I mean, so what?
I'm with you.
It doesn't. It literally 2 games that are worth your time to watch.
And they talked about that on the contrast of scheduling between the two teams on the broadcast.
It doesn't have to be what Kansas does.
No, but they're also saying
in the middle.
My God,
if you lose some of those games to you lose a close game to a really good team, it's almost better than those wins.
Hey, you learn something about yourself at least.
Even on a resume.
They have they are going to take into the conference schedule one win of note in the non-con, and it's Minnesota. I'm not even sure if that's a win of note. Unless somehow they beat Illinois, but I'm not anticipating that.
Yeah, just because someone's from a good league doesn't mean it's even a win of note.
I will tell you they'll bounce back against Alabama State and Bethune. And I can tell you that I won't be watching because I have other things to do around the holidays than to watch glorified scrimmages.
Yeah, Minnesota is 5-4 with losses to Missouri, San Francisco,
they just beat Indiana,
Stanford, Santa Clara. So maybe they're finding it.
Right.
I did. We're not going to talk a lot about it. College basketball.
No, we're not
today,
at all.
But we do need to mention that K-State lost at home again Saturday.
Boy.
Yeah, we will.
To Seton Hall. Right?
Yeah. But it wasn't close. I mean, down 11. Seton Hall's decent. It's not like the Bowling Green loss. But Seton Hall's wins, they did beat NC State. But they got a lot of wins against, Connecticut. Central Connecticut. Excuse me. Wagner.
One small consolation prize. Missouri got the bowl game I wanted them to get. Gator Bowl. I'll watch Gator Bowl. Enjoy that. Played Virginia, a team that almost made the playoffs. Kansas opted out of a bowl game, and Kansas State.
Nobody wants to play in these bowl games.
Did that make you mad, Jake, at all, or are you glad? I'm just telling you, man.
It's weird. I don't know how to feel about it. I mean,
for some teams, I'm just going to tell you, 15 practices is of value.
Well, here's the deal. That used to be important.
Okay.
But you're going to practice 15 practices with dudes who aren't going to be on your team next year? That's the problem with all of this.
But you know the whole team's not leaving.
Right.
You hope.
There's a core coming back.
No.
I mean, I
I
think if you go ask today, every coach who's like in the sport, if they could tell you 100% who's coming back, I don't think they know, man. It is
they
just
have a pretty good idea about the majority of the team who's coming back.
Yeah, you don't turn over a whole roster.
You can practice.
You don't turn over 50% of your roster.
The good news is
that's like an extra spring ball, dude.
Yeah.
The transfer portal doesn't open until January 2nd. Now, they fixed that part of it, but they got to fix more. They got to change more stuff on the calendar. They got to change high school signing to later again. They got to change that. They got to do something to get these coaches from moving during this time of year and making it to where teams don't want to go play. I mean, there has to be some sort of rule in some centralized form that says if you are getting an NIL or house settlement contract that includes the whole freaking season, not just as long as you want to be there. They got to get their hands around this. But it's ever-changing, and you're right in the middle of all this mess right now.
Maybe my confusion is why are the players voting?
Exactly. They have all the power now.
Like why is it,
It swung too far.
Right.
They were exploited for 60, 80, 100 years, and now it's swung too far, and it's ruining this time of the year, which used to be so much fun. I've been a naysayer of the bowls for 10 years. Ever since I remember, Christian McCaffrey was like the first guy I saw opt out. And that's not even a big deal anymore. Opting out for the NFL, now it's just opting out to go to your other school.
Right. Opting out to go to the NFL,
the extra practices are of value to young players.
I agree with you.
And the smart coaches utilize it.
But I just think that at this point, the players are running the whole thing.
Yeah, well, there you go. We'll take a break back after this on WHB. What's up, Kansas City? Steven St. John here for DraftKings Sportsbook. Missouri, your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is live, and now you can make every game more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, props, and more, all from your phone, all safe, secure, and easy to use. And now with DraftKings Sportsbook, you can bring that same energy to every snap, every touchdown, that same energy you bring to the games, you can bring it to DraftKings every win, every play. And right now, new customers in Missouri can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 810WHB. The crown is yours in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Guys, you've heard of TR.
Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Post-game sound few and far between, but we can play some of it. Let's hear from Leo Chanel, who was dressed and put his backpack on and was getting ready to walk out. And I asked him if he'd be willing to speak because most of the other players were not. Nick Bolton talked. Pole talked. Karlaftis talked. Mahomes and Chris Jones were at the podium. Nick Bolton talked.
Generally, you get 4 people at the podium.
Well, you got 3 last night.
Got the 3 last night.
So here is Leo after the game.
Seemed like the defense in the second half really picked things up, but you guys just getting you over a hump. Just maybe your thoughts after a very difficult loss like that.
I mean, It's hard. There's not much to say. It's, we didn't do well enough. Like, I'm going to look at the defense. We didn't do well enough, like in the first half. We didn't do well enough, towards the end of the game there. Turnover on fourth down on our offense. We need to step up and, have our offenses back. So at the end of the day, we didn't finish, and, we didn't start well.
A few times, again, there's troubles on third down, third and long, getting off the field on third down. Just what goes into that?
It's just all of us working together. That's the biggest thing, and that's what it takes on, third and long, third down in general. It's, everybody's got to be, a cohesive unit, as we say, and, we all know that. There's no finger pointing. We're gonna have each other's backs, but we all know we need to be better there.
This is a situation this team has not faced before. How do you guys respond? How do you keep this together?
Obviously it's something that, we never wish we would have to face and even think about, but the message is go out and play top-level football as best you can with the best effort you can at the highest level you can, regardless. Whatever happens, we better be out there playing, our hardest, especially now that it's not in our hands. We better be playing our hardest.
It looks like you're thinking about a lot. What's going through your mind right now?
It's not just me. We're all football players. We're all competitive. We hate this feeling. Most of us have been here before, whether it's college, high school, but you never want to. We got too much riding on it. It's just not a good feeling.
It's not a good feeling, and he said most of us, and you heard him kind of pause, have been here before, and they had to go back to high school or college. As I said, the worst record under Andy Reid that this team has had after 13 games is 7-6 in 2014 when they went 9-7 and missed the playoffs. So they have not been in this situation as professional football players. In 2017, they were 7-6, just like one game better. But the only people on that team were Chris Jones and Travis Kelce. Patrick was not playing then, but he was on the team. So these players on this team have all just like gone to Super Bowls and AFC Championship games, and they've never had to, in December, figure out what has to happen for this to happen, right? The scenarios, the dreaded in the hunt. This is totally foreign to all of these guys as National Football League players who've been on this team. Now, if you came over from somewhere else, I get it. But the core of this team, uncharted territory where they are right now. And as you said, Stephen, it's maybe only 14 or 15% chance, but in your mind, when you look around, the path feels like more than 14 or 15% until you have to calculate the part that's the most important is them winning games. And they've not shown that.
And I'm not going to spend any more time talking about it because, like I said, I'm done expecting the Chiefs to go on a run. Now I'm just hoping for it, and hope ain't enough either. We saw that last night. They are what they are. But things, other games went their way. And look, the Colts lost their starting quarterback, and they may not win another game. The Chargers have an extremely difficult schedule, and the Chiefs get to play them once. And so if I had any confidence that the Chiefs could win out, I would tell you that they still have a shot to make the playoffs. But when I tell you that I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, it's not because there's not a path. It's because I don't think they can win out.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. They're
It's
just
also
not good enough.
That Steelers win was good for the Chiefs yesterday.
Well, yeah, the
Ravens
Jags
losing.
win was good for it
Yeah.
too.
The bad part for the Chiefs yesterday was them losing.
Right. As I've said, I think the path is still going to be there, but they have to win games, and they've shown they're not capable of doing that.
A couple weeks ago,
This
the
season.
Chiefs could. If they lost the Cowboys, that's the one you want to lose because it's not in the AFC. And then they come home and they lose to the Texans, and that's a bad one on that front. But still, everywhere else, not so bad.
We'll be right back after this on WHB.